Oftentimes, things that affect us aren't the same as those that affect those that are not of color. Same thing for highly sensitive people, or HSP.
You are listening to It's All Mental Podcast, a show that empowers Black and brown females on how to maintain good mental health through personal and real-life experiences. Each week, we explore various topics that any female can relate to. I am your host, licensed professional counselor, and owner of Glass Seats, Pamela Smith.
What's up, good people? Coming to you today to talk about a very disturbing story that I just read, and I've been seeing this quite often in the media, where Black women are dying in childbirth. And I wanted to discuss this because it's not just Black women, and it's not just in instances of childbirth, but more often than not, mental health, physical health. These are clinicians are treating symptoms and not the patient or the client. And that is a huge problem for me. And this is something that I stress to my clients when they have to see a doctor, my family members, my friends, my sorority sisters, everyone. Find a doctor that actually listens and treats you as a Black person, you as a brown person, because oftentimes things that affect us aren't the same as those that affect those that are not of color. Same thing for highly sensitive people, or HSP. If you're not familiar with what a highly sensitive person is, please Google it until I get to my next mental note where I can break it down for you in great detail. Highly sensitive people feel things a little differently than others. And to be a highly sensitive Black person, it just complicates things. So what I would suggest is, I'm not telling you not to go to physicians or clinicians that are not of color. What I am saying is, if and when you receive a diagnosis, before you receive that diagnosis, make sure you're asking the proper questions about, how does this affect people of my ethnicity? How does this affect highly sensitive people? Oftentimes, physicians aren't even familiar with what the HSP characteristic trait is. So doctors that don't care to be educated, I would suggest that maybe you look for a different one, because everyone can learn something. That's my spiel for today. Please be careful. Make sure you're looking into your physical and mental health, and making sure your mental and physical health is for you and not for them. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening to It's All Mental Podcast. If you could do us a favor and leave a review on Apple Podcasts, that would be great. Until next week, I am your host, Pamela Smith.